Inside the box, there is a box again. A better box, I should say. As you open that better box, there are some papers. A warranty card, 2 stickers, a quality certificate card, and the user manual. As we remove these papers, a good-looking hard plastic case. Let's set that aside for a bit and talk about this smaller box inside the better box. This smaller box contains 2 mini dead cats, 2 SRM1 lavalier microphones with clips and foam windscreen, a TRS to TRS cable for your cameras and audio recorders, a TRS to TRRS cable for your mobile phone, a USB Type-C cable, and a micro USB cable. Let's switch over to this good-looking hard plastic case. This is the charging case, and as we open this case, there goes our 2 transmitters and the receiver. Now those are the things inside the box. The end. Just kidding. Roll B-roll. The Saramonic Blink 500 Pro B2 is a dual-channel 2.4 GHz wireless microphone system. On paper, its working distance is 100 meters line of sight. Its frequency response is from 50 Hz to 18 kHz. It has 18 available RF channels. They are automatically connected or paired out of the box. Transmitter weighs about 32 grams. Transmitter's dimensions is 2.2 by 1.5 by 1.1 inches. It has a power button here on this side. This button is also the mute button, and 2 buttons on this side, the plus and the minus buttons. The plus button is also the set button. It has a micro USB port on this side as well for charging it without the charging case or while in use. Up top, we have a built-in omnidirectional microphone, so you can use this even without the SRM1 lavalier mic attached. Beside that microphone is a 3.5mm mic or line input. At the back of the transmitter, we have here connector pins to connect it with the charging case. We also have a belt clip here that also functions as a cold shoe mount. To turn it on, you just have to press the power button for 3 seconds. It has a high contrasted OLED screen that shows the audio waves, signal strength, the battery status, mute or input mode, and the mic gain. It has a built-in lithium-ion rechargeable battery that charges 3 hours, and pressing the minus button, you'll get to see the mic gain adjustment. And by holding the set button or the plus button, you can then make the adjustments. Mic gain is from 0 to 6. To select the mic gain value you want, just press the set button again. Now, the next setting is the input mode. You can change the input modes to mic input or line input. So if you are using a different audio source like a mixer or a mobile phone, you have to switch to line input. Next setting is the backlight mode. You can change it to always on or 60 seconds or 30 seconds or 10 seconds. To save battery, I suggest choosing is the mute key. You can enable or disable the mute function. To mute the transmitter, you just have to press the mute or the power button once. You can select the language. There are 2 languages here, Chinese and English. Next, we can reset or restore this to factory settings. And lastly, we can see here the firmware version. If there are new updates available, you can then update the firmware by just hooking this up to your computer via the micro USB port. It weighs about 32 grams as well. It has the same dimensions with the transmitter. It has a power button / mute button here on this side. On the other side, it also has a plus / set button and the minus button. The receiver also has a micro USB port for charging without the case or while in use, and for updating the firmware. At the top, we have a 3.5 line out, which will be connected to the camera. We also have here a headphone or a monitor out for you to monitor the sound. But we have to keep in mind that the audio that's coming out from this monitor app, we have the connector pins for the charging case and a belt clip that also serves as a cold shoe mount. Same drill. To turn it on, you just have to press and hold the power button for 3 seconds. This also has an OLED screen that shows the group icon, the signal strength of that group, the mute or input mode of the transmitters, the gain setting of the transmitters, the battery status of the transmitters, the pairing indicator, the receiver's headphone volume and mute status, the receiver's output mode, and the receiver's battery status. To adjust the settings, just press the minus button. We can adjust the headphone volume. We can also adjust the output mode. We can change it to mono or stereo, and we'll talk about that in a bit. We can adjust the OLED standby time as well. We can enable and disable the use of the mute button, which is also your power button. You can select the language. You can restore it to factory default settings. And lastly, we can see here the firmware version. The charging case is a 2000 mAh fast charger. You can charge it through its USB-C port at the back. You can charge it using a 5-volt adapter through a wall outlet. You can also charge it using a power bank. It can charge the transmitters and the receiver simultaneously. It's portable, so you can charge your wireless lavalier microphone set while traveling. On this side, it has 2 buttons. One is to open the case, and as you can see, as we open it, we can see the battery status of the case. It also has a single button pairing here, so pairing them won't be a problem. Here's how the pairing button works. Just lay down your units on the case and press and hold the pairing button for 3 seconds. And there you go. Your transmitters and the receiver are now paired, synced, and ready to go.